Hit the like button, comment and subscribe, and share the video. Hello, sports fans. Welcome to No Offseason Media. I'm your host, Amari Sports. In today's video, we'll go over the Week 15 picks. We are in the final quarter of the NFL regular season. Who would have thought it? I remember back when we were just anxious to get the NFL season rolling, and now we're at the final quarter entering that. But last week, I went 6-7 ATS. And in terms of picking a game straight up, I went 9-4. So right now I'm at a 104 record. I want to get above 500. This is the final quarter to do it. So let's get this whole entire thing started. Thursday Night Football, we got the Seattle Seahawks against the San Francisco 49ers in Lumen Field in Seattle. And this one, the San Francisco 49ers are favored by 3.5 points over Seattle. And I'm going with the Seahawks to cover the 3.5 point spread, but I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers to win this game outright. In the last 5 meetings up there in Seattle, Pete Carroll is 4-1 straight up against the San Francisco 49ers. Seattle had a really bad game against Carolina, allowed a whole bunch of rushing yards. They're willing to pretty much burn the tape and come out strong against the San Francisco 49ers. San Francisco had a game where it was probably their best of the season when they actually shut out the Buccaneers for 3 quarters until Tom Brady scored late in the fourth. But I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks to cover this number. I think 3.5 is way too much. I can see this is a field goal game, but I'm going with the San Francisco 49ers to win this ball game outright. Give me the 49ers to win 24-21. We got the Indianapolis Colts at the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota is a 4-point favorite against Indianapolis, and I'm taking the Vikings to win this game outright and to cover this 4-point spread. Number one is that I don't trust Matt Ryan and the Indianapolis Colts. They're not able to push the ball down the field. And yes, I understand the Minnesota Vikings defense is not that good. That's why I took them to beat to lose to Detroit last week. I just think that Kirk Cousins is going to do whatever he can to not screw it up and pretty much get his team to having a home playoff game. And I think this is where the Vikings make a statement and say, we are still a team in the NFC that can pretty much battle with San Francisco or Philadelphia, despite us having a negative point differential. So I really like the Minnesota Vikings here. I think Minnesota will win this game outright. Give me the Vikings to win, let's say 27-20, and to cover the spread. The second game of the Saturday games, we have the Baltimore Ravens traveling to Cleveland to play the Cleveland Browns. And in this one, the Browns are favored by 2.5 against Baltimore. And this one, I'm going with the Ravens to win this game outright and defeat the Cleveland Browns. I'm worried about this game with Baltimore because Tyler Huntley, as I'm recording this on Tuesday, he did return to practice, but I'm not sure if he's going to be cleared out of concussion protocol. But another reason why I'm worried with the Baltimore Ravens, because they just played a very physical team in Pittsburgh. And when Pittsburgh and Baltimore both play each other, the next week they both come out flat. So I'm really worried. Cleveland is a team that's pretty much not looking too well. Deshaun Watson, he did not look good against the Houston Texans, looked pretty rusty. And the exact same thing happened when they were playing the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals haven't beaten the Cleveland Browns since 2019. Jacoby Brissett and Baker Mayfield has always beaten the Cincinnati Bengals, and Deshaun Watson, who has a guaranteed contract, wasn't able to do that. So I'm going to go with the Ravens to win this ball game and a cover. If it's a third string quarterback, I kind of want to put a little pause on it, but I'm going to go with the Ravens to win this ball game and a cover. Give me Baltimore to win 23-21 and steal a win in Cleveland. Saturday night, we got an AFC East matchup between the Miami Dolphins and the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are a touchdown, extra point and a half favorite against the Miami Dolphins. I'm going with the Buffalo Bills to get revenge all over the Miami Dolphins. I think that Buffalo is a team to beat in the AFC, despite them not blowing away teams like they do in previous seasons. But we got to pump the brakes on Tua and what's happening with this wide receiver core, because Tua's not getting the ball down the field. There was a story that came out that the Dolphins were using heaters in 65-degree weather in Southern California, 55-degree weather in Southern California. This entire game against Buffalo in Orchard Park is going to be in freezing temperatures. So if you can't handle Southern California weather, which I'm from, you definitely can't handle New York weather going up there. Now they just went back to Miami, and now they're going up there, and they're coming off a short week. I really like the Buffalo Bills to win this game and to cover the 7.5 point spread. Give me the Bills to win 30-17, and Tua will look awful in this game. Going on to Sunday's games, we got the Atlanta Falcons at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are a 4.5-point favorite against Atlanta, and I'm going with the Saints to win this ball game in the cover. Desmond Ridder, who was drafted, I believe, in the 3rd round, will be making his first career start against New Orleans. And New Orleans defense is really well. They're able to hold Tom Brady to 17 points. Prior to that, they were able to hold him to 3 before he made the historical comeback. And the Saints, I just think they are the better team than the Falcons. Falcons haven't really been covering spreads lately. Before, they were like 6-0 ATS. Now they haven't really been covering anything as of late. I just really like the Saints here, and I don't bet against Andy Dalton at 10 o'clock games. If you look at Andy Dalton's last 10 o'clock games at home, when they're playing a not-so-good team, he beat the Seahawks, and he beat the Rams. Now you're playing against a Falcons team that's not really well. I'm going to go with Andy Dalton in this one. So give me the Saints to win 23-13. Next, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Chicago Bears. Eagles are a 9-point favorite in Chicago. And this one, I'm going with the Eagles to win this ball game and to cover. We got 2 quarterbacks that got the similar style as a quarterback. Jalen Hurts and Justin Fields love to use their legs. It's just that Jalen Hurts is more of a pocket thrower better than Justin Fields. But I'm going to go with the Eagles because the Bears defense is like one of the worst in the leagues ever since they had those trades back at the trade deadline. I just really like the Eagles here, but what could worry about some bettors is that maybe the Eagles might be overlooking the Bears and they're not going to take the Bears seriously and just say, hey, we'll just beat them by a touchdown, or pull our starters out when the game's a blowout, and maybe the Bears might get close to covering like a 9-point spread. But I'm going with the Eagles on the safe side. The Eagles blew out the Giants last week. I think they are a better team, obviously. They're the best team in the NFC, so I just really like the Eagles to win this ball game and to cover this 9-point spread. Give me Philadelphia to win 34-22 over Justin Fields and the Bears. We got the best game in the early window for this week. We got the Detroit Lions at the New York Jets. This game is at a pick'em. I do not know where to go for this one, but for this pick, I'm going to go with the Jets. I think the Jets are a better team. I'm worried with the Jets is that the Jets can't stop the run. And they were able to hold it close with Buffalo because Buffalo normally does not run the ball, but the Lions sure love to run the ball. But I'm going to take the Jets because the Jets are a better team. They got to keep pace with New England, Miami, the Chargers in the AFC. I just think that I'm just going to go with the Jets. The Jets are just the best pick here. It really bums me out. I really want the Lions to win this game. I really want to see Dan Campbell in the playoffs playing against the Minnesota Vikings, who are now the 2 seed. But we're probably not going to get that. It really bums me out. I'm going to take the Jets to win 24-20 and pretty much hurt my emotions the entire postseason. Next, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Carolina Panthers. Pittsburgh is a 2-point underdog on the road against Carolina, and I'm going with the Steelers to win this ball game and upset the Panthers. Okay, the Panthers have been covering the spread for the past couple weeks. That's what I said in my last video. That's why I took the Panthers plus the 4.5 against Seattle. This is the time to probably get off the Panthers because the Panthers have been riding high. They have their bye week. The Steelers are better as underdogs than they are as favorites. That's why I took Baltimore last week. But Sam Darnold, in his one game that he played against Pittsburgh, played really well. He was with the Jets at the time back in 2019. But I know the Steelers have a better defense than the Carolina Panthers. They really love to stop the run, the Pittsburgh's defense. And Sam Darnold, via the Panthers coaching staff, is trying to pretty much not make him lose the game. And what is Pittsburgh's defensive flaw is that they can't stop passing attacks. So you're going to have to rely on Sam Darnold to do whatever he needs to do to pretty much get him a win for the Carolina Panthers. If Mitchell Trubisky starts, I would hate this pick. If Kenny Pickett starts, I will love this pick. But I'm going with the Steelers because I'm just thinking that Kenny Pickett will play. So I'm going with the Steelers to win 20-17 over Carolina. Next, we got the Dallas Cowboys at the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Cowboys are a 4.5-point favorite on the road in Jacksonville. I'm going to be on an island on this one. I'm taking the Jaguars to win this game and to upset Dallas. What is the best way to beat the Jaguars? You got to pass the ball all over their defense. What's the problem with the Cowboys? The Cowboys love to run the ball and play a lot of play action. If the Jaguars are good against the run, they're not so good against the pass. When we see Dak Prescott have these insane amount of attempts, he does not perform well. He attempted a lot of passes against the Houston Texans, and they weren't able to cover the spread against the Texans. So I really like the Jaguars here. I'm gonna have fun and call an upset and take Jacksonville to win this game, just because it's despite the Cowboys. I really don't like the Cowboys as an organization, but I'm going with the Jaguars to win this game. Trevor Lawrence will have a signature win after he beat the Ravens, beat the Titans, and he will beat Dallas. I'm gonna have a little fun. Give me the Jaguars to win 31-30 over Dallas, and Dak Prescott has a couple picks. Next, we got the Kansas City Chiefs at the Houston Texans. The Chiefs are a 14-point favorite on the road in Houston. Houston, do we have a problem? No, Kansas City does. I'm going with Houston to cover the spread, but I'm going with the Chiefs to win this ball game. I think that 14 points is too much to get to Patrick Mahomes, who is not normally covering spreads that are even double digit, despite a team in Houston that's probably has some veteran players that are looking to put some tape out there for other teams to come pick them up via free agency. So I really like Houston to keep this game close, but I like Kansas City to win this, obviously. Give me Kansas City to win 27-14 over Houston. Next, we got the boringest game of the week. We got the Arizona Cardinals at the Denver Broncos. Two quarterbacks I probably will not be playing, and Kyler Murray, obviously, because of a torn ACL, and Russell Wilson because he is in concussion protocol. I'm going with Denver and the 2.5 in this matchup. As a bettor, if you're a bettor or thinking about betting this game, please don't bet this game. This is an awful game to bet. Some people are taking Cardinals +3. Some people are taking Denver -3. I got a 2.5 here. I'm going with the Broncos because of their defense to win this game. It's only because of their defense. I don't trust Colt McCoy. I don't trust Brett Rippon, their backup quarterbacks for Arizona and Denver. I'm just going with the Broncos because the defense is really, really good. So I'm going with Denver to win. Will not watch this game. I don't think anybody outside the Phoenix or Denver area will be watching this game. So give me Denver to win 16-13 over the Arizona Cardinals. Next, we got a battle between head coaches that know each other well. We have the New England Patriots at the Las Vegas Raiders. The Patriots are a 1.5-point favorite against Las Vegas. The money is all over New England. The books are all over New England. It's like, I think around 60 to 85% is all over New England. I'm putting a question mark on this game, but I'm going with the Patriots to win this ball game and to cover. I'm worried because Bill Belichick disciples normally beat Belichick, and this is an offense against defensive system. But the last time a Belichick disciple has beaten Belichick was Bill O'Brien back in 2019, and Matt Patricia, who is now on the Patriots coaching staff, and he beat them with the Detroit Lions back in 2018. But I'm going to go with the Patriots because the Raiders can't stop anything defensively. The Raiders love to blow some leads here. We're seeing that this entire year. I just think that the Patriots are the better team here than the Raiders, and the Raiders defensively are not playing well. If you bet the Raiders, would I be shocked if the Raiders win? No, but I'm going with the Patriots because the Patriots come off Monday night win, and now they're going to Vegas, which is like right up the street via if you take a flight. So I'm going with the Patriots to win this ball game and to cover. Their defense will have their footprint going against Josh McDaniels. So give me the Patriots to win 24-17 over Las Vegas. Next, we got the Tennessee Titans at the Los Angeles Chargers. Tennessee is a 3-point dog on the road against the Chargers. I'm going with Tennessee and the 3 points, but I'm going with the Chargers to win this game outright. Number one is that the Chargers defenses cannot stop the run. Oh, but they were able to stop the run against Miami last week. Okay, I said in my video last week is that the Chargers were playing for their season. This can be a letdown spot for the Chargers. Okay, they played their whole entire season on the line against Miami. I just think that the Tennessee Titans will run the ball, jam it down the Chargers' throat, something that the Tennessee Titans were able to do that last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think that the Tennessee Titans will keep this game close. But the problem with Tennessee is they got too many injuries in the secondary, which will help Justin Herbert throw it to Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, other handful of receivers, even Austin Eckler out of the backfield. Give me the Tennessee Titans to keep this game close, but give me the Chargers to win this outright. I'm going to go with LA to win 26-24 over Tennessee. Next, we got Joe Burrow's Bengals against Tom Brady's Buccaneers. Cincinnati is a 3.5-point favorite against Tampa Bay. In this one, I'm going with the Bengals to win this ball game and to cover the 3.5-point spread. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers look pretty bad over there in San Francisco. They got pretty much shut out 35-0 until Tampa Bay scored a late touchdown. But I think that the Bengals are looking to put a playoff push as they're going up against Kansas City and going against Buffalo in 2 more weeks. I think they will beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because Tampa Bay is looking pretty bad. Their offensive line is looking awful. Their left tackle, Donovan Smith, is having a whole bunch of holding calls, which cost the Tampa Bay Buccaneers later in that game. But I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals because Joe Cool is going down to Florida, where it's not going to be as cool. It's going to probably be hopefully mid-60s, 70s, pretty hot for NFL weather. I'm going with the Bengals to win this ball game and to cover that 3.5-point spread. I don't see a way how Tampa Bay can score a lot offensively. So give me the Bengals to win 27-13 over Tampa Bay. We have Sunday Night Football. We got the New York Giants at the Washington Commanders. The Commanders are a 4.5-point favorite at home against the Giants, and I'm going with the Giants to win this game and to upset Washington. The last time these two teams played, Washington was up 10-0 over the Giants, and the Giants went on a 20-10 run, which eventually ended in a tie. I think the Giants are a better team than Washington. I think Washington's overrated. Everybody's going to be like, oh, Washington was 1-4 at one point. Now they're like, 7-5-1. And the Giants were like 6-2. Now they're 7-5-1. So you bet the Commanders because the Commanders are a better trending team. No, I'm going with the Giants. The Giants are the better team. I think that Daniel Jones in his career has owned the Washington Commanders, or whatever their name used to formerly be. I'm going with the Giants to win this ball game with Brian Daboll at head coach. And I think that Wake Martindale, the defensive coordinator, will draw some stuff up against Taylor Heineke that he wasn't able to do last time they played in the Meadowlands. So give me the Giants to win 22-20 over the Commanders. And last but not least, we got the Los Angeles Rams at the Green Bay Packers, two teams that I think will not be making the playoffs this year. But the Packers are a 7.5-point favorite against the Rams. And I'm going with the Rams plus 7.5. But I think the Green Bay Packers will win this game outright. Would I be shocked if the Rams win? Absolutely not. But I don't understand why the Green Bay Packers are getting 7.5. This team in the Rams were down 16-3 and were able to come back against the Las Vegas Raiders. And yes, I understand the Raiders love to blow leads, but the thing about Vegas is whenever they make Green Bay a favorite, it has to be a touchdown. It has to be 5 points, 4 points. And Green Bay normally doesn't cover that. Last time we saw Green Bay, they were down against Chicago, and then they ran the ball and then went for 2, and then they put the game out of reach. I really like the Rams to keep this game close. Yes, it's going to be cold for a California team to come up there to Wisconsin and deal with precipitation, snow, or even just freezing temperatures. Green Bay is not 7.5 points better than the Rams. Sean McVay is still trying to get his team back into gear. Baker Mayfield was able to give that team life after they were losing like 6 games, and they just came off a loss against Seattle. I'm just going with the Rams to keep this game close, but I'm going to safe side and take the Packers. Give me the Packers to win 23-17 and beat the Los Angeles Rams, but fail to cover. So those are my picks for Week 15, the first game of the final quarter. Whoever is watching, Merry Christmas to you. Happy Hanukkah. However you celebrate, I wish you guys happy holidays. So this is No Offseason Media from Amari Sports signing off. Peace.